So today, and the process of forgiveness when it comes to weight loss and weightlessness, and really looking at the part and the role of forgiveness and how that played a really big part on healing and giving up dieting and giving up food obsession and body obsession and acceptance was really forgiving not just myself, but so many other aspects of the process of just being, always thinking about dieting and food and what am I going to eat and what am I going to do and how's it going to be and, if only. So the energies that we talk about here, like, as soon as right? As soon as I lose that weight, as soon as I can fit into those blah, blah, blah. If only I was thinner, if only, right? If only I was thinner, I bet I would attract that guy. And as soon as and those energies, interestingly enough, are very similar to the energies that we have around money and love. And so when people say how you do one thing is how you do most things or everything, you start to see a common thread and theme. It's like, as soon as I get a client, I'm going to invest in my business, or as soon as I pay off my debt, I'm going to blah, 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 or, I'm going to, and we have this like paused energy or resentful energy. Hi, love. Hi, Claudia. And we realize that we're actually either, we have this resentful or regretful or holding on to, like holding on to the past or holding on to the way things used to be, like the good old days, we look at it like, like we're like, God, when I was thin or when I was younger or when I looked a certain way, things went my way then, And so we have this, hi, Roops. Hi, babe. So we have this energy about ourself and sort of a regretful or a resentful or a sorrow of like how it was and then how it will be. And this now thing, the only thing that we can actually affect, which is right now, sort of doesn't actually exist. Because up here and here, we're somewhere else. And when we really get present to like, isn't that curious? In these different aspects of my life, like when it comes to money, which is such a powerful energy, when it comes to my body and like how I feel physically in my body about myself physically and sexually and, attractiveness and all of that stuff, it's similar. Like I think about when, remember when and, if only and all of that. And when I think about what's possible for me, I'm kind of like in this stage of like, if only this. And so you start to see these common threads. And it's really fascinating. It's like, I think we're onto something here. And forgiveness, where forgiveness comes in, is if we can just go, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to beat myself up about any of this. I'm not, because what can happen is that we start to feel a lot of remorse. Like, fuck, I've lost a lot of my life living like this. Or upset with ourselves. Or angry. Or bitter. Or guilty. Or any of those feelings. Or all of those feelings. And what we can do is just have a lot of forgiveness and love and gratitude. A lot. Because we're here now. We're right here now. And that is great. So forgiveness allows us, it's like a gateway, it's a pathway, it's an opening to say, wow, I'm like, I got chills right now. To just say, wow, we're here, but acknowledging these feelings, because again, metabolizing how we feel is really, really important. Stuffing them down or pretending that they're not there or blowing them off like, oh, it's okay. That like, it's okay. No, really, it's okay. That leads to more stuffing and blowing up in some way. So allowing it by forgiving. And I'm not saying that it's always the easiest thing to do, but I'm sharing with you the process that I went through that really, really changed everything. And it must matter because, to have a cycle of like 40 years of something being a certain way and then actually going through these steps and everything changing, it must matter. So forgiveness was a really, really, really important part. And what I did is I really looked at forgiving the past, really looking at right now, and even future forgiveness, which I thought was really clever, to be honest with you. So I did 3 stages of forgiveness. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to forgive the past, which includes ourselves and other people and other things, establishments. So forgiving the past includes people that have hurt us, offended us, people, places, things, all of that. And all of the above. So it's really doing an inventory of people that have assaulted us, people that have hurt us, people that have offended us. If you can think of like, God, when I think about the people that have like offended me about my body or commented about my body, or I mean, I could literally think of them in an instant, like dating somebody and them going, you might want to think about going to the gym, and being like, was that necessary? Or like, I like women that have boyish bodies and you don't have that. Really? Did I need you to point that out? I'm fully aware of what kind of body I have. But interestingly enough, that I allowed that to be imprinted in my memory, and I released that. So we have to take radical responsibility for the things that we hold on to and we let go of. Does that make sense? I take radical responsibility for what I hold on to and what I let go of. That's forgiveness. So if I'm going to call up those memories, like my badge of injury, that's on me. I got to let that shit go. Or not. So I want you to start with, I take radical responsibility for my healing. I take radical responsibility for my healing. I release these injuries. I release these people. I release these events. I take radical responsibility for my healing. And that's what I want you to write at the top. I take radical responsibility for my healing, and I release these people, these places, these events. And just see what comes. And things might just actually start to release from your like, oh my God, that's right. Yeah. I let that go. I release that. You're going to be surprised what starts to just metabolize out of your body, out of your memory banks, out of your letting things go. just letting them go. I'm literally right now, I am literally covered in chills. And you know what's really interesting is as I've been in stress over the last couple of weeks in a variety of ways, family issues, issues in my business, issues, lots of things. The previous me, I probably would have put on 15, 20 pounds easily with everything going on, with heart issue, with heart of the matter issues with Eric, family issues. My uncle is not well, and work issues. I have, situation with a woman and inside my business. Oh my God, eating, turning to food. I don't do that. I don't use food to hurt me, to comfort me. I use food for what food is meant to be. But for 40 something years, I used food in a very different way. So when by doing this work and doing it on a daily basis, checking in with myself, asking myself, what do you need? How are you feeling? Are you feeling sad? I cry. Are you tired? I sleep. Are you thirsty? I drink. How are you feeling? When somebody offers me help, assistance, do you need support? I take the support. I don't take the high road. No. I'm okay. I got this. No, I take help. I take the assistance. I allow myself to be embraced when somebody says, let me embrace you. I embrace myself. I hold myself. All of these things, all of these practices, they're the way that I live my life in order to have the life and the feelings and the heart space and the mind and the soul and the body that I want to live in. Or I would just be doing what I used to do. And the forgiveness work, like this. But we got to clear out the past grievances and hurts. And it's easy to say, I don't have any. No. I'm good. But if we're holding on residual weight, bloat, heaviness, thickness in our tissues, then we have somewhere. So let's just do the work, see what comes up. And let the body reset itself. It could be in the past. It could be in current now. So we just have to kind of just do a check-in and let the brain access, because it could be subconscious. It could just be not in the right now. It could be something current, like really in the front of the mind. And it could be like, wow, I didn't even realize that, because it's not in your top of mind. It's down there. It's in there. It's back there. It's quiet. You don't even know. A lot of times we don't even know why we do what we do. We literally do not even know why we do what we do. We just do it. Autopilot. We don't know. So we have to go dig. We got to get in there. We got to dig in there and see, why do we do what we do? Why do we feel what we feel? We got to ask. So going back is really important. Really important. Who's offended? Who's hurt? Who's judged? Who's shamed? Who hurt us? And how did we do that? How did we shame ourselves? How did we hurt ourselves? How did we drop the ball on ourselves? How did we hold the standard so high and force ourselves to get into those genes, or, not go places or not live our lives fully because we were trying to, achieve a standard that was just so hard to achieve? So there's forgiveness there. So give grace, but acknowledge, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. if ever you've looked at old pictures where you're like, Jesus, look at how good you looked. I've looked at so many old pictures where I'm like, are you kidding me? I look terrific. But then I didn't think I looked terrific. I was beating myself up then. I never saw myself as looking terrific, ever. Ever, 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 ever. When I looked at the pictures and I see myself looking terrific, and I'm like, why didn't I see myself as looking terrific then? No, saw myself as fat then, trying desperately to be thin. So forgiveness, 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 forgiveness. Because if you don't say you're sorry, who's saying it? If you don't apologize to your own self, who's saying it? Nobody. So it's really, really important to say you're sorry. So that's the past. Then there's the current state of apology. So this is for anything that's going on. And you can actually pray for somebody if you can either do an actual apology, right? If there's something going on, actually have an apology, right? Or like in a situation where you don't actually want to have interaction with the person, you can pray for the person. So it's, if you've never heard of this before, I'm not suggesting that it's the easiest thing to do in the world. I just did it for 2 weeks for 2 people. But you can pray for 2 weeks for people that you're seeking to have forgiveness with. And the way that it works is you pray for 2 weeks, everything that you desire for yourself. So, for example, I prayed for Eric for 2 weeks, for him to have, I'm going to cry, but it was hard. I mean, really hard. But I prayed for 2 weeks that he have love and happiness, abundance, joy, everything, 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 riches and everything, 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 everything that I want in my life. I prayed for him every day for 2 weeks. It was hard, I cried and I prayed and I cried and I prayed, and every single morning I prayed for him. And I also prayed for the woman that's been going after me online. And I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to do, but something changes inside of you when you pray for people, regardless of what they're doing. When you pray for them to have everything that you desire, and you pray for them, and it doesn't take long. It's not like I, walked around for hours on end praying for them. I just prayed for them. And it's transformative because it puts you in a state of, it shifts you. It really does. It shifts you when you pray for people, even though they've done something that's really painful, even though they've hurt you, even though whatever it is that they're doing, it actually, I believe, has nothing to do with you or me. So to pray for them to have love, to pray for them to be happy, to pray for them to thrive, to pray for them to have riches, to pray for them to have great health, to pray for them to God to bless them, to pray for them to have joy and happiness in their heart. How could that be a bad thing? It can't. It can't. So I prayed for him and I prayed for her. I prayed for my family and my friends, my clients, people that I love. I prayed for the world, and then I prayed for me. And it's not saying that it's easy. I mean, there was a lot of crying, and it was not an easy thing to do at first. but it definitely helped. And I could just say that in the healing of carrying 40 plus extra pounds all through my life, sometimes 20, sometimes 30, sometimes 40, sometimes I didn't know, because I would notoriously go to the doctor and get on the scale facing backwards, or going at 8 o'clock in the morning, not drinking a thing and wearing like next to no clothes because I didn't want to weigh an ounce heavier, and not eating anything, and, never looking at the scale. God forbid they ever told me what I weighed, but I always knew that I was, heavy. I knew, and the doctor would say, you put on some weight. I'd be like, don't tell me. Don't tell me. And since I've done this healing work, and it was work, my body just weighs what it weighs. It's lighter than it's ever been. My mind is lighter than it's ever been, and it's not like there hasn't been some shit that's happened, but I work through it. I go through it. I don't stuff it. I used to never go to the bathroom. I'd go days and days without going to the bathroom. I couldn't let shit go. I couldn't process shit. I couldn't metabolize my life, my feelings, my thoughts. I just was like, "Ugh, ugh." But if you saw me, I'd be like, how you doing? Hi. So I was living talk about living a double life. I was living a double life inside my own life, like I believe many people are. And when you actually let yourself feel how you feel and metabolize it and move through it in every way, mind, body, spirit, soul, everything, and let yourself feel how you really feel and go through it. Let yourself go through it. Move through it, literally move through it, like move through it. Your body knows how to weigh what it's meant to weigh. And this idea of like, well, I'm meant to be heavy. Well, if you want to be heavy, you'll be heavy. But if you want to be light and take up a lot of room in this world and make huge impact or do whatever it is that you want to do, you could do that. And if you want it to be in a light, airy body because you have an idea that that's going to feel good for you, you can do that too. I will never forget going to the gym and hiring a trainer and her saying, you'll always be a big girl. You'll just be a smaller big girl. And just being like, what? Like, why, what? Like, I'm a big girl? Like, I'm not a big girl. I'm not a big girl. Like, why would you even say that? I was like crushed. And then she saw me about a year later and she was like, she hugged me and I whispered in her ear that I will never forget. She's like, oh my God, like, holy Jesus, what happened to you? Like, you, what? Like, what the hell? And we were hugging and I said, I'll never forget when you said, like, you'll always be a big girl, just a smaller big girl. And she's like, I will never say that to anybody ever again. Ever. I mean, here it is all these years later, and I still remember that. And I'm glad that she said that because I now know how powerful and potent words are. I let her words matter more than my words. Think about that. I let her words matter more than my own words. I'm thinking like, what? Who is she to tell me that I'm going to be a big girl my whole life? How does she know that I'm going to be a big girl my whole life? The fuck is she? But I was pissed and hurt, crushed. My trainer's telling me this, branding me. Forgiven. So forgiveness work is so important. So important. So important. So I'm going to turn this around. And so I find that doing things that are very ceremonial are really, really, really valuable. And let me see if I might need, see if this will light. So when you do this work yourself, this got wet. Let me see if this one will light. Me with my multiple Palo Santo sticks. Come on. Okay. So I think it would be really great for you to light a candle for the past, a candle for the future, a candle for now, a candle for the past, a candle for now, and a candle for the future. Three candles. And the reason that there's three candles is because there's forgiveness to be done for the past. There's forgiveness to be done now because we're human. And future forgiveness because we're going to fuck it up. Like we're only human. And so just knowing and trusting and believing that this isn't about being perfect. We don't have to be perfect. We never have to be perfect. That's not a standard. We're just progression and progress. We're growing. And as long as we're breathing, we're healing and becoming. And it's never about perfection. It's about living our best, beautiful, gorgeous life. And so sometimes when we're on a program and it's like, I've got it, had a great day today. I didn't cheat. And all this like diet culture language that's I found to be so stressful. And that's why I don't diet. I just eat. I just live. I eat what I want. I eat what I love. And if that's a cookie or a Dunkin' Donut, because that's what I feel like, that's what I eat. And I just trust my body. I trust myself. And if I don't feel like eating dinner because I ate at 2:00 and I'm not hungry, I don't eat dinner. For so long, it was like, you're supposed to eat 3 meals a day. And you're supposed to eat when you wake up in the morning. And breakfast is the most important meal in the morning, and you're supposed to all of this supposed to's. And I just decided I was just going to listen to my body and trust that my body knows what it wants and when it needs it. And when I really started to trust my body and really listen, my body knew what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And so I just listen and I give it what it wants when it wants it, and it loves it. And it loves me back, and I love the way it looks. And when I desire something different, like I want to tone up or tighten up or lose a little or gain some muscle, I just do it. And I show up for it. And it happens because I do it and I show up powerfully. And that's it. And I stick to it because I want it. That's it. It's that simple. And there's forgiveness and love and commitment and devotion. because that's what anything takes. And I noticed that consistent thread, like, well, if only this, and as soon as I that, and, like it's the same no matter what we're talking about. If we're talking about money, it's that. And if we're talking about being successful as an entrepreneur, it's that. And if it's, falling in love with a great man, it's that. If I apply the energetics of one thing to another thing, it's that. If I want generational and legacy wealth, and I have, well, if only this, and well, I'll start saving then, and it's the same, right? So if I want greatness in one area of my life, I'm going to apply the same principles no matter what I'm doing. I'm going to be devoted. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to have forgiveness if I don't get it perfect. It's okay. It's the woman that I'm becoming when I'm doing the things that I'm doing to have the things that I really desire in my life. I'm going to be in community with great people that are desiring the same things. And I'm going to be honest and good, to myself in the process, and do the best I can. And I'll slip, and it's okay. I'll just get up, keep going, and try again. Keep going. Does that make sense? So forgiveness is a huge part. When we have people on the hook for what they did or didn't do, what they should or should have done, what they could or could do, all of that, in ourselves included, it's a barrier from getting what it is that we truly, truly, truly want. Forgiveness is a gateway. It's a pathway. It's one of the keys. It's one of the codes that really does help us get what it is that we truly, truly want. Forgiveness is one of the really, really beautiful, beautiful ways to heal. It really is. It's really powerful. Forgiveness is for us. Forgiveness is for us. We always think that we're doing somebody like a big token, like, I'm going to forgive you. You know what? I forgive you. It's like, I forgive me. I forgive myself. Oftentimes when somebody hurts us, they haven't a clue. They haven't a clue. They haven't a clue. Usually they don't even know. They're living their life. They don't even know. I mean, there are definitely times when people do things and they're deceitful and there's betrayal and there's all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times when somebody does something that hurts us, they don't even know. They just don't even know. Take a breath. So when you watch this on the replay, or you're here now, and you think about forgiveness when it comes to your body, for yourself or with somebody else, is there something that comes to your mind really quickly? Like, oh, this comes up for me. Like, forgiveness equals what for you? When you think about what comes to your mind, if something comes to your mind quickly, or what kind of keeps circulating in your mind, what comes up for you? Like, what do you start thinking about? What starts to pop into your mind when you think about forgiveness? Some of the things that comes to me is like, for how many times I put myself on a diet, I ask for forgiveness. For the language that I used when I look in the mirror, I ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. For how much hiding out I did and how much missing out I did, I'm really sorry. Really sorry. For being angry at other people for looking so good, because I was like really jealous, to be really honest, like envious kind of jealous. I'm really sorry. And also for judging them for thinking that they had like a really great life, like assuming like if you look like that, then you have a really great life. I'm sorry. Because that doesn't mean because you look like that you have a really great life. Like maybe you have some struggles too. Of course you do. So I'm sorry. sorry. For being angry at my mother because she put, I think, a lot of her eating disorders out on me. And I'm sorry for being angry at her about that. Forgiveness for not asking for support when I needed it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for people to help when we don't ask, right? So that's a really, really powerful one. Really powerful. Really. It's all about forgiving myself for my behavior with me. Yep. And then I think also when you, Claudia, if you can get specific about that, I think it's going to really, like, just like how I'm getting really specific, like, about like, the jealousy that I felt for other people, for putting myself on so many diets, for picking at my body when I would look in the mirror. Forgiveness for not giving family and friends the opportunity to show up for myself. That's really powerful. Yep. I did that for years, like I would just, I'm okay. I'm all right. No, 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 nope, I'm good. Like, um, just, yep. Yes, forgiveness is so important in the healing process. It really is. And the more that we can really dig into it, and then the forgiveness and then the ask, like, is another really important step. It's all a part of releasing. It's releasing, and it creates an opportunity. It just creates such an opportunity, when we say things like, "Hey, could you help me? Blah blah blah. Would you? Do you have time to? Blah blah blah. Could you help me? Blah blah blah. Would you? Could you? Blah blah blah." Like, it's so powerful when people go, "Yeah, I'd love to." Yeah, that would be great. I would love to. Blah blah blah. Like, it's so comforting. It's so great, right? Forgiveness for not searching for help. Yes. Yep. Yep. And it just lets our mind and our heart and our body just like, there's a, that's release. That's release. It lets your body relax. And it's everything internally. It's not just your brain. It's not just your heart. It's not just your soul. It's your kidneys. It's your liver. It's your organs. It's your metabolism. Everything starts to relax. It's your cortisol. It's everything starts to relax. So when we're holding on to weight and you let life help you, when you let people help you, when you let friends help you, when you're holding on to weight, when you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, when you're doing everything yourself and you don't let other people help you, you're holding everything in your organs, in your tissues, in your body. You need that weight to do everything because you're doing everything. But when you let other people help you, right? I'm just going to use the example of moving, okay? So let's say you're moving and you're like, no, 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 God, let's be real. Nobody wants to help anybody move, right? That's what we say. Nobody wants to help anybody move. Fuck, I'm not going to ask anybody. It's the worst thing in the world. I'll do it. I'll do it. Nobody wants to help anybody move. Well, you know what? I'll help a friend move. I have a bum arm and I'll help a friend move. Certainly I'll help a best friend move, or a friend that I love to death. I'll help my friend move. Fuck, I don't care. And I love decorating. So like, ask me to help you decorate or like find shit or move stuff around or like make it look beautiful. That is a gift for me. That's a gift. That takes me out of me and into you. And I am a happy, happy, happy person. Let me help you do that. I'm happy as could be. So, but when we don't ask and we make up the story, nobody likes to help anybody move. That's horrible. No, I'm not going to ask. We need the extra weight and the extra calories to help us move ourselves because we're doing it all by ourselves. oh, we have family that's not doing, we have to muddle through and deal and handle everything ourselves. We need the extra weight. We need the extra everything to get we need the weight of the world because we need everything to help us. So when you lighten everything up and you have other people helping you do life, you don't need the extra weight. You just don't. You've got people to help you. So it's allowing people to contribute to you just the same way that you contribute to other people. It is literally a gift. You got to just do it. You got to do it. And it gets you what you want, which is the release. Forgiveness is not showing up for myself, showing up for everybody but me. Yeah. And it literally gives you what you want. It gives you the feeling of connection. It gives you the feeling of feeling loved. It gives you the feeling of feeling lighter in the world. It gives you the feeling of being like in community. It gives you the feeling of being showed up for. It gives you everything that you're looking for. It's such a win-win-win-win-win. And it makes you feel lighter in your body. It's just so good. It's so, so good. It's so good. So many times the habits that we get into as women, putting ourselves last on the list, doing everything for everybody, all of these things, and it manifests in us holding weight. We need the weight. We actually need it. So forgiveness is a really big part, and it's really forgiving ourselves for being the one. I'm the one that's gonna do everything for everybody, the most reliable person in the world, right? So making a commitment that you're gonna ask and over ask is such a great thing. So great. Okay, so do this work. This is so powerful and so profound and a huge, huge part of weightlessness, being weightless, taking up more space in the world because you have people with you, doing life with you. It's huge. It's so huge. So I really want you to dig into this part. Okay? So, you got some work to do. Okay? All right. So this is week 2. I dropped the second exercise. It's more arms and a little bit of some squatting. No big deal. But it's good, and you definitely feel the arms. I mean, for sure, you feel the arms like big time. You may not have a band, but you can do them anyway, even without a band. And you could pick up a band like pretty much anywhere. I mean, pretty much everywhere and anywhere, like Amazon or Target or like pretty much everywhere sells those like rubbery bands. So there's a movement drop this week. There was an audio poem reading, and this forgiveness work is like the deepest part of this week. So I love you. I'm so glad that you're here, and just sort of letting yourself sort of go through this process. I'm really happy that you're here. And reach out if you have any questions. You can reach out to me in Messenger if there's anything, off sidebar that you want to talk about. And really kind of let yourself drop into this work more, deeper, just go deeper and really think about like what it would feel like and be like and look like for you to release and allow. Because on the other side of forgiveness is allowance. And to let yourself to be showed up for by you and people in your life and the world. Okay. Have a beautiful day.